Hey, Happy New Year. I wanted to hop on here. We're actually about to head into our annual New Year's brunch with our family. And I felt called to come in here because I know that a lot of people are going to be talking about, thinking about, and maybe even worried about food coming into the new year and setting a lot of those resolutions. And certainly I've been there in the past and worked through this with many clients. And I'm just like, I love being a physiologist, and I'm going to go off tangent to bring things all back full circle. And again, I felt really compelled to share this. Is first just an understanding of how we process food. Okay, so when you eat something, I want you to just take an image of it. Let's say you decide you're going to eat an orange or a donut, right? Either one. And let's say you just take that donut and you put it in your mouth and you don't allow your saliva or your teeth to start breaking that down. You just swallow it whole. You can imagine that's going to feel really uncomfortable, and imagine your body doesn't process that food. It doesn't pull the nutrients out. It doesn't excrete the toxins. That donut sits there. Let's say you eat an orange, same thing. You don't chew it. You don't metabolize it. You don't pull the nutrients out of it. It just sits there as like this whole, what we call in physiology, like a bolus, right? So it's like going to be in your gut, going to be in your intestines as this like giant mass. And no nutrients get pulled from it. Nothing gets excreted out as a toxin. It's just sitting there. You can imagine not just the pain and the discomfort that you're going to feel, but every single thing you eat, okay? Let's say that happens. So what is the long-term effect on your body if you're not able to break down the foods you eat and actually process them and utilize them for energy and excrete what's not needed? You're going to get pretty sick. So this little short training that I'm offering, again, as a physiologist, I love this stuff, isn't really about food at all. I want you to take that exact same analogy, and I really invite you to think about that's the way that we've been taught to process our feelings. And as we step into 2019, in this year of creativity, I offer up that invitation to really think about going from thinking into actually a feeling state. And it's really, really simple. What we train ourselves to do is eat a feeling and not break it down and take its nutrients and excrete what we don't need and heal and process and move, right? That's what our bodies do. Instead, we eat a feeling and it sits there whole, which means it's like a cancer. It's sitting there stuck, and it disengages us from moving our energy, and it starts to chronically make us feel tired, limited, and those feelings that don't get processed will continue to show up over and over again, right? Because it's there for us to feel through. And the second that we feel through, we get to release good feelings and bad feelings. But we're not even connected to what it actually is in our bodies. So let me walk you through an example. Let's say you're in a parking lot. We just showed up here in the parking lot, and it's pretty empty, surprisingly. But I can imagine it's going to get pretty crowded. But let's say you show up in a parking lot and all the spots are taken. And you're perfectly capable of walking, but you're like, you get into that tightness of like, or now I'm going to be late, now there's no spots. And then somebody pulls out and you're going to go get it, and somebody else takes that spot. So now you're angry at that person because they took your spot. And really, I can get into a deeper training. Really, that's just a mirror in yourself of like maybe, the anger that you hold toward yourself because perhaps you didn't leave early enough to get there to get a spot, right? Whatever's going on for you, it's a perfect mirror for you to show up and look at it. But here's the thing. We just eat the feeling. We just eat the feeling, right? We get angry and we swallow it whole and it just sits there. Or we get angry, we swallow it whole and we lash out at that person for taking our spot. Or we lash out at a family member because we're not digesting it, processing it, actually metabolizing it, right? Letting it go through our system. So again, what I invite you to do is the next time you feel a feeling, feel it through. What do I mean by that? Swallow it and be with it and breathe, and then say, where do I feel that feeling in my body? So if it's anger, perhaps you feel your heart rate going up. Boom, boom, boom. It's going up. Hi guys. Hi everybody. I'm so glad you're on. And you notice like, oh, I feel my heart rate going up. And then just breathe into that. A few times, breathe into that. And you're just allowing that feeling to start to break down in the body. And a few seconds later, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 30, maybe it's a minute, and you go, what do I notice now? Oh, my heart rate slowed down. And it's not yours to hang on to anymore. It's just simply release. Pull it in and release it out. And now what? You're back plugged in, part of the whole body, part of the whole universe, and it's not like you have to lash out at anybody, and it's not like you have to be angry and hold on to that and you just simply heal and you move forward. And guess what shows up? Less of those situations, because they're not in your radar anymore, right? You'll still have experiences where the lot is full and somebody takes your spot, but it's not part of your field. It's just simply not in your holographic field. You're healed. You're over it because you metabolize the feeling. So metabolize your food, right? That's cool. And as you start the new year, I would offer up also being able to take that same idea and metabolize your feelings. Your body is your gateway to just radical health, but also just radical self-acceptance. Whew. Okay, I see that my family just showed up. We're about to head into a beautiful brunch, and much love. Happy New Year. I'll be on here later. Perhaps I'll do a full training on it. Comment below. Let me know if that's something that you're into and like what metabolism actually means. And we could talk about that with regard to food, with regard to workouts, with regard to feelings. Boom, they're all connected. It's not separate areas of life. So as you start to plan out 2019, we're going to see this is all looped together. Okay, my family's going to come knock on the window any moment. So I'm going to go. I see them lurking. Peace out. Happy New Year. Mwah, mwah. Bye.